Whoa. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am trying again. This is my second live. If you caught the earlier one, fantastic. It had no sound. So you know what? You have to try things, put it out there, and if you don't succeed, you learn from your mistakes. And so I did. And thank you to Carol, who was amazing and said, Fiona, this has no sound. So, welcome everyone to the energy report for September 22nd to 28th. Now the microphone dots are moving. Now I know I'm hooked up and good to go. So, if this is your first time here, well, sorry, it was a little uh, chaotic, but I'm not usually, well, I am a little bit like that. I am a little bit fun and on the go and always learning. I'm always taking risks. But if this is your first time, welcome. I am an energy worker, medical intuitive, and teacher, and I'm super excited you're here. Each week, I am offering an energy report, which is channeled messages and tarot and oracle cards. I work with the 27, that's the group I work with. They came through last July. So I've been working with them, which is so exciting. And I kept the same cards I'd already pulled earlier when I recorded this then. So yeah, let's get to it. The channel message I had earlier, and I'm going to keep with it. And it was actually something I pulled into when I was making the screen for this create your own magic was I just kept seeing confetti. I kept seeing confetti everywhere. And it was even happening like very clear in a strong clairvoyant way. When I opened my eyes, I could see different kind of streamers and such. And the energy for this week, maybe it's just the eclipse energy, but we have reason to celebrate. We have been working hard. We've been putting our best foot forward. We've been doing the hard work and we've been working with the best of intentions to get ourselves forward. And so right off the bat, my guys were like, they need to know to celebrate, to enjoy themselves and make some time for themselves this week. And so it's just a very, very positive energy. And so this week, pat yourself on the back. Enjoy the work that you've done. And if you're still pushing through to get to where you want to be, know that you're on the right track. So tune in, check in with yourself so you feel stronger about where you're at. But I felt like it was a big energy this week. And then I pulled some cards, and no word of a lie, they were all major arcana cards, which is big. It means life events, is a lot happening. So the opening card was new beginnings, the new beginning cards. And the deck I'm using is Radley Valentine's Archangel Power Tarot deck. Absolutely love this deck. It's the one I trained on years ago. So this card reads starting a new life, finding your purpose, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past. So my energy this week was to celebrate because you worked hard, because the card after this is the world. So and my tab, my the energy that I created when I was creating the thumbnail for this was create your own magic. So this week is really about the powers at our court, how we choose to see things and do things and going about our everyday. Mm, big energy. So when we get the new beginning card, this is the judgment card in the Rider Waite. This card signifies that you're almost done a big cycle. And with the energy in the collective right now with so many changes, yeah. So we're at the end and we have a choice. We can continue to hold on to the past and relive the emotions and let them dictate our energy, our frequency, our field, and more or less our ability to manifest. Because the state we are essentially sends out that frequency, and that's what we get back. And so they're saying, do you want to stay in that old energy? Or do you want to see that new stuff that's over there? We don't know what's there. There's going to be an element of risk because that's what the next cycle is starting off with the fool. The dreamer steps out and doesn't know where he's landing his feet. Whether there will be success, a new chapter, a new beginning, or you can stay here and just keep reliving this. It's up to you. Um, And the way I explain this to people when I'm at psychic fairs, because I only have a certain amount of time with them, is I say it's kind of like a happy bus comes along, and we all want to get on the happy bus, right? Good times. And we don't have to pay for a ticket. We don't have to pay something. We've already paid with our time to get the bus to show up. And now the only ticket we need is that decision, that choice that I don't want to live in the energy, the emotions, and reliving and have my head stuck with stuff in the past. I want to learn the lessons from it. I don't want to forget what happened, but I don't want to relive the energy. I just want the lesson. Keep the lesson, and then you can get on the happy bus and go to the next level. And it's the choice, it's the commitment that you don't want to stay in that energy because it takes time to shift your frequency and the energy. But if you're willing to do the tapping or go to therapy or do your shadow work or do your affirmations or your mindset work, you get on the bus. You get on the bus. So when I see this, we can choose. So the right there, create your own magic. You can step into it. And we have reasons to celebrate because we have worked so hard for the bus to show up. We have. We have worked hard. So my guides were bang on with that. And then following that, we got the chariot. I kid you not, the chariot. Now, I love the chariot because it means we're not sitting on our butt. It's not a time of pausing and long time of just feeling the feels. This is an action card. And knowing me with my neuro spiciness, this is like, yeah, right down my alley. The chariot is using our willpower, our mind. And he also has like in the Rider Waite, he's got his wand and his connection. He understands his magic already, and he's navigating and finding a way to balance the seen and the unseen. That's why we have two horses, yin and yang, the conscious and the subconscious, day and night, the shadow and the light self. And really, the shadow is essentially what we haven't put light on yet. Okay. So here we have a balancing so the mind and the heart. And so when I see this, I get excited because this is carving your own path. So this is the week to make decisions and move ahead with things. And you can, if you keep these two in balance, or you make do your best at keeping these in balance, listening to both, acting on both, feeling both, you get quantum leaps. And we're due for a quantum leap if we have been doing incremental work for a period of time. That's why we're getting the confetti. So here we go. We can jump forward. Now, here's the caveat with the chariot. If we start doubting ourselves or putting yourself down or letting the old stuff come back up or letting the old stuff navigate us or starting to slip into victim mindset, which I know so many people, I know so many healers that do this. It's absolutely bonkers. Like they say, oh, I'm still working on that. I'm like, you've been working on that for like 10 years. I've known you for like almost a decade and you're still working on that. Just admit that you're not willing to let it go yet. There's a difference, right? So the chariot, we can hit roadblocks with this when we start getting in our own way, and it can crash our chariot, and we have a choice if it's crashed because it's two horses and we lose our balance. Is we can pick ourselves up and go at it again, or we can just sit there crying over spilt milk. Mm. So with the chariot, get the look from me. The horses don't want to stay there and be like, meh. Yeah, pick them up, get them going, and off you go again. And that's what I love about the chariot. You get them in balance and send them off going, and you ride again. You can. Um, and if you choose to complete the chariot's path, there's always success at the end. Always success. And it's balance. It's balance, not perfection. And that it also goes for the next card too. Not perfection, balance. And the key here is working your mind and working and owning your magic. So these two cards right off the bat are potent. They're kind of like smacking you in the head saying, you are in control. Create it yourself. You got this. I love this energy for this week. Followed by justice. The justice card. Oh, I didn't read the chariot for you. Determination and self-control, career advancement, acknowledgement of success by others. Then we have the justice. And what I pick up from this one is stay true to who you are. Don't fall into false truths or other people's truths. Don't fall into a truth that suits your narrative. If you do that, you will be screwed. When this card shows up, you need to be honest. You need to be honest with yourself and you need to be honest with those around you. If you start making up hokey stories like, well, in my timeline, that didn't exist, or, oh, no, that's not how I saw it. I see it this way. And I mean that more from the narcissistic, because usually the empath is like, but that's not how it happened. You're not creating stories here, folks. You're telling the truth. Speak from truth and speak truth to yourself. So, but this card coming up, two things. If you have been honest with yourself and with others and doing the best you genuinely can, you will be rewarded. If you've been kind of hokey, folks, and it happens, you know what? Life is tough. Sometimes we're in denial. It's not just a river. It's okay. You have time. There's 7 days in this week. Okay. I don't know how many hours, I don't know how many minutes, but we've got 7 days. You have time. You have time to just sit down and have a talk with yourself. Self, where do I feel stuck? Where do I want to be going? How am I getting there? And if you don't know the how, step back and say, how do I want to feel when I get to that finish line? And just sit in the energy of your goal. And if you haven't, like, I'll give like the most straightforward. Let's say you want to lose 10 pounds. If you have been eating out every night for the last couple of weeks because of work, because of stress, okay, you tried your best. Maybe you even had some salads. But you know what? This week, you're going to try to pack a couple of days or just pack some snacks. You don't need to sit. That's why we have the new beginnings. We don't sit in the energy of, oh my gosh, the past couple of weeks, oh, what was me? No, 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 no. We reset our energy and moving forward, we got this. So this is all kind of like the heads up card saying, really, if you have been true to yourself, it's going to be smooth sailing. If you haven't, you have time. You always have time in the tarot. Always have time. If they say you don't have time or you just no. Mm, mm. We work with our own energy. It is our life path. We are sovereign energetic beings. Use it. Okay. I even tell people, um, don't come to a psychic to solve your problems. We can't. We will give you guidance on what's possible in the future. We may even get like an accurate snapshot of where you're headed in the near future because that's your energy. But for big things, we can give guidance, support, and tune in and just give you some guidance, but we can't tell you the how or the what. It's your problem. It's your opportunity to solve it. We can give you some support from the cards and the guides. But yeah, that this card is beautiful. And for me, when I see this, if you've been fluffing off, you can get back on there. Totally can get back on there. So you're good. You're good. So when I see this, it's a beautiful week ahead. Definite opportunities to grow, to expand, to shift things, which is beautiful. Okay. And with this energy in the collective, because I watch the news too, I watch the news. Comes up in my feed. I'm not one of those woo woo people where saying I turn off everything toxic. I just choose not to engage to a certain extent. I choose wisely where I speak and who I speak with. Um, I send energy to things. I communicate with certain individuals about what I see there, and I do my part here. I don't close off from the world. I'm a part of it. I'm here in this 3D experience for a reason. I can't escape what's happening in the collective, but I do not let it consume me. And my number one priority is working with my energy, my bubble, and my community and my people. So, moving on to the oracle cards, with that in mind, I put the ones. that I already pulled from the previous reading, the silence version. Yeah, maybe that'd be a great course. I should have put hashtag lip reading challenge. But I'm using Rebecca Campbell's Starseed Oracle deck. Absolutely love this deck. It has traveled across Canada with me twice, doing psychic fairs, been to Vancouver and back. Oh, it's been all over the world. So, okay, the first card I got made complete sense. The Blue Flame. And this card reads Spontaneous Awakening, Activation, Integration Time. And really, what I felt from this one is we're leveling up, which makes sense because we have the new beginning. And after the new beginning, we have the world. That cycle's complete, then we're moving on to a new journey. So, this week is really about making it a lifestyle that you do have a regular 5 to 15-minute daily practice. And if you don't have one, you're going to awaken and start a simple 5-minute affirmation or 5-minute stretch. I saw this video a while ago of a woman. I think it was a post actually, in one of the groups I'm a member of. This heart centered, soul centered group. And the woman said, I completed 365 days of yoga. I'm like, wow, that's cool. That's awesome. But I'm like, what is that? Like, I don't know how I could do that. Neuro spicy here. I'm like, how? She goes, some days I got an hour in. It was fabulous. Those were days of bliss. Then most days I got a half hour in, my regular half hour routine. But she said once in a while there would be one pose days. I had like 5 minutes. I get one pose in, but I would count that as a day of yoga because I stopped in the chaos and I said, me, and went and did it. So when I see that, that really is this card to me. It's not perfection. It's working with your own standards, your own goals, your own energy, and choosing you first. So when this, because that's what spiritual awakening is realizing energy is all around us. And there's just something unseen. Back in the day they called it magic. Now we call it quantum. What's the new word of the week? But we've always known there's another layer that's outside our spectrum of light. We can see the colors from like red all the way to ultraviolet. I might have gotten that backwards. We can see that. But beyond that, we can't see X rays or gamma rays, but we know they're there. We can see all those other rays of light, or we can't see them. We know that they're there by science, but there's stuff beyond that we can't see. But there's got to be something because why does the spectrum go that far? Right? We can see this. The unseen is here. And spiritual awakening is realizing we have just as much right to work in that as we do in this. So do your 365 day. Next is followed by water your garden, which is the same theme. This week saying yes towards you and your goals. So this reads water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Eating well, nourishing yourself with positive energy. Every day, I do a 15 to 20-minute affirmation set. Um, it's actually to music, you know, and I dance a little. And I set my energy. I set my day with my energy every day. And then I can go out into the day. Um, I try to eat good food, whole foods, the best I can, and taking rest. So that's it. Doing the best you can with that. Taking some snacks to work with you, you know, um, taking time out to eat your lunch. Goodness me, I know so many people who work through their lunch or skip their breakfast when they're hungry, right? So that's just taking time for you. Take a little bit longer in a shower, book a massage, do what you can with that. And if you can't afford a massage, give yourself a massage. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube, like lymphatic drainage. Give yourself some care. And so when I see this, this week is all about owning your journey, owning your energy, and going after what you desire. because there's success at the end of this, but it's through our truth. So create your own magic. There we go. And this one had sound, which is even more exciting. Okay, folks, if you enjoyed this, I'm going to ask like and subscribe. It will help me and the channel. I also offer an intuition circle, a monthly membership where we get together twice a month and I take you through activities, healings, to work on your psychic abilities and your intuition. So check it out. It's all in the information, and I wish you all an amazing week. Take care.